Sometimes he'll lend a helping hand, and other times he'll show his fangs. Episode 7 of The Ancient Magus' Bride was a very, very impressive episode. Now let's just talk about the big stuff right off the bat here. Of course, everyone's going to be freaking out that Chise got stabbed, and it looks like a pretty deadly wound. I mean, that shit went straight through her, didn't seem to hit her heart, but it was definitely a deadly blow. That was shocking because, of course, I saw her getting hurt in some way because she was pushing one of the characters out of the way, but I didn't expect it to be as horrible as it was. But I'm not really that worried for Chise because we're only in episode 7 of a 25, I think, episode series, so I think she's gonna be alright. But the thing that shocked me the most was actually Elias and his transformation, because there's always been the debate among people, obviously, who haven't read the source material, of does Elias truly care for Chise? And I've always been on the fence of, yes, I actually think he does care for her. There is that experimental side because he doesn't understand humans, but I see no reason why he would go to such extent for someone who he just doesn't care for past being a lab rat. And the fact that he gets so mad that his fangs show that the rage is fueling him into getting revenge 100% confirms that Chise is more to him than just an experiment that he can replace with another, and I love that. And it was insane to see the transformation and the little bit of history we got, and it was just to see the final form, or I imagine he might even be able to go to a different form past that, but to see his rage into that form and him holding wounded Chise, that was unexpected, and I loved it. It was so beautifully animated, and I just can't wait to see how episode 8 is going to go, and if Chise is going to be able to calm Elias down, if maybe she'll be able to wake up and say, no, Elias, you can't do that, from all that rage building up in him. That was just unexpected, and I love that moment, and I love how it does already show us that even if he is using her in some way, which of course he is, he still truly cares for Chise, and I love that rage and how far he's willing to go to get revenge on the person who hurt Chise. But the episode, even if you remove the big moment, essentially there was 2 big moments at the end, this was a really well balanced episode. It did a lot. I actually really love how the episode starts off, really just showcasing that Chise isn't sitting around the home doing nothing. She's experimenting with her magic, she is experimenting and learning how to do certain things, and Elias even giving her a ring that is going to slow down her kind of like mana and things like that going into her body, because she essentially gets too much into her body, and that's why her body is so frail, and that's why it will ultimately kill her. It's not a kind of like fix for the issue, but it's something that will slow it down until Elias can determine exactly what a solution for her body will be. So I just like all the little stuff. There's a lot of little moments throughout the episode before we get to the whole dog situation here that I just really liked, because it was that extra little bit of layer to show us that this series can have the big moments, it can have the more medium-sized moments where we do go on a little quest to see, is this dog going to be vicious or someone that we can rely on? But there's all that little stuff at the beginning that just makes it feel a bit more alive than what you would typically see with a lot of sort of magical fantasy series where it is just going to point A to point B, getting the plot rolling. Instead, we have those little bits of downtime moments that really just help make this series feel very, very special in a medium that can definitely feel oversaturated with a lot of just generic bullshit. But I really did like seeing the dog character here, and now I believe he was in the OVAs, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I watched them, but I don't really know too much about this character. But we get the whole backstory with his deal, and just to see what type of a person he is, even though we haven't had a whole lot of time with him, you can definitely get a sense that he's not a bad dog in any way, shape, or form. And even if he did have some darker stuff within his backstory, the fact that just the way Chise was interacting with him, the fact that he saved Chise from one of these spirits that if you answer the spirit, essentially it would just kind of control you or take you over. And that was a pretty creepy design, but I just love how he comes in and just squashes the head. Beautifully done. But I actually think my favorite piece of animation in the entire episode, as great as Elias's form was and how that was kind of transforming, actually seeing him go into his dog form, the way they did, like, it was this very jagged, unrefined kind of transformation scene, but the way the smoke was working into his body to turn into that dog, it looked drop dead amazing. Like, I seriously loved just how this episode flowed. Like, it had a great looking visuals for the most part, but then when you got those more like majestic animation scenes where they were transforming Elias as well as the dog character, it just looked amazing, and I loved how it did it. Like, I didn't really feel like the music like stood out in this episode. Typically I feel like it does. It didn't really feel like it stood out too much in this episode, but the animation, the atmosphere just took a hold and never made this episode feel anything less than amazing. And I'm just so excited to see what this will ultimately do and how this will propel Chise and Elias's relationship, because this is 100% going to show her that yes, even though he is hiding things from me, it's clear that the fact that he went to this extreme for me getting hurt, of course he obviously cares for me, and I can't wait to see how that's going to evolve the relationship, and ultimately how the Sorcerer as well as Elias are going to work together, because essentially it's the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I mean, Elias already said that he would work with, I believe her name was Alice, to help her master, who we understand now why he lost his arm because of this piece of shit, but I just love how essentially this gives him even more of a reason to help her out, because now it's not just help him because there's no reason not to, now it's you hurt the one that I'm caring for. I just continue to be impressed by this series every week, like seriously, breath of fresh air in the fantasy department. I can't wait for episode 8, but let me know your thoughts, like what do you think? And even though I know everyone's going to be talking about the big moments near the end, what did you think of some of the smaller stuff at the beginning, all the little moments with Chisei experimenting with her magic, and then all the stuff with the new character? What did you think of episode 7? How excited are you for episode 8 next week? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and before I leave, smack that like button, share your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time everyone, please take care and have a good one.